What's up, y'all? I was just listening to the CD I made last year for businesses about how to boost your business, you know, especially during a recession. And but also I just got through talking to somebody earlier about something that was going on in their lives. And so as I was listening to the CD, it struck me about how closely aligned the principles were in building a strong business and conducting your life, basically. And so I'm gonna let you hear this track, I think it's track number 3 on the CD, and then I'm gonna talk about how it applies to your life.
How long it's been done. First of all, but now number 2 is don't get hung up on procedure just because of how long it's been done. You know, evaluate your business frequently to see if there are better ways to get things done. As time passes on and technology advances and the world around you changes, why in the world would your reason for doing something in a particular way be, that's just the way we've been doing it for the last 10 years? If you haven't recently taken a look at your operations and determined that the way you're operating is the most effective way for maximum production without compromising quality, then it's time for an evaluation. Time is money, and quality is repeat business.
So how does that mindset, that principle, apply to your life? Well, I'm hoping that it's going to be obvious to a lot of people, but I know it won't to everyone. Sometimes something is so, you know, really, I don't know, it's just so obvious that it's right up there on you, you know, and what you have to do is enable yourself to step back from the obvious so that you can get a big picture perspective. You know what I mean? You got to make that thing smaller than what it is so that you can see the whole picture. And so what I said was that we need to frequently evaluate the reality of what's going on and see if we are doing things in the most efficient way. Because the way that we are doing things may have been the best way to do it at the time that we started doing it that way. But as time goes on, man, things change, you know what I mean? The realities around whatever it is that we're talking about doing, you know, every aspect of it, or any aspect of it, things around that could evolve into a different reality. And so 5 years later, even 2 years later, even a year later, then your justification for doing things a certain way may no longer be relevant. So, truck driver. Let's say that you and your spouse decided that you will go over the road so that because you made a certain amount of money as an over-the-road driver as opposed to being at home or regional. Well, you know, that was very easy to see happen not long ago, because of course over-the-road drivers, you know, normally do make more than you could regionally or locally. But now a new reality has set in, and as things progress, it's going to get worse for a lot of people. But you got these electronic onboard monitoring systems and computerized logs and everything. Well, companies that's got a bad track record, and those that are actively engaged in utilizing this technology, onboard electronic onboard monitoring, or using computerized logs, that means that a lot of drivers is going to get cut out of a lot of miles, and there's no way around it. You know what I mean? If the computer has to log your time, or when the truck stops, and the time you start in the morning, how long you had a customer, and all this, that, and the other, the reality is you're going to get shorted miles by the end of the week, which means your total for the end of the month, you know, all of that is going to be affected. Well, obviously, if your mileage is capped, then that's going to cut down on the amount of money you're able to make in a week, unless your employer is going to pay you more per mile, which, as you and I both know, they will not do until they have to, unless, you know, you have a better employer that understands the benefits of driver retention and driver loyalty. But anyway, so that caps your pay, basically. And it may now be equivalent to a job you may be able to get locally or regional, where you are at home more frequently. So you and your spouse's justification for you being over the road and away from home 2 or 3 weeks may have been the amount of money you make at the end of the month when you compare over the road versus local. Well, since there's a new reality and you no longer can run the way you used to over the road, there may no longer be basis for that justification. You see what I'm saying? So you can't get stuck in not taking into account the new reality. It may now be time to go back to really looking at what your local and regional opportunities may be at home, so that you are there with your family instead of out over the road spending a lot of time sitting down. You know what I mean? And you know, like I said, it's the principle that applies. It applies in various aspects of your life, not just determining whether to be over the road, local or regional. You can apply, you know, it's relevant to all types of situations in our lives. You may have held a certain office job because of the benefits, you know. You're enduring a lot of stress, pressure, harassment by the boss even maybe, but you've been dealing with it because of the benefits. Well, the benefits might have gotten cut because of the recession or for whatever reason, you know, downsizing and maybe not even working full time there anymore. And maybe you don't qualify for the benefits because you're not working full time. You see what I'm saying? So the reality has changed, and no longer does it make sense for you to endure the harassment or endure the job that you don't like. Hopefully you've been doing things to better position yourself to make a move anyway. Well, now would be the perfect time to make that move, you see? So we must constantly evaluate our situation and see if we are still doing the things that are in our best interest in order to take us to where we want to be in life, you know? And basically that's all I got to say about that. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't talk your head off. And people say I repeat things. I hope I didn't repeat it too much. But you know, it's so good, man. It's only because I love you, you know? I'm out of here. Gotta go. Bye-bye.